Well, hi there, and welcome along to Punchestown for another edition of What's the Word. Excuse the backing track. David Jennings has picked the music when we're joined by David Jennings of the Racing Post, Nicola McGeady of Ladbrokes, and Dennis O'Regan as well. Dennis, we just mentioned there your first big winner was here at Punchestown, your first Grade 1.
That's right, yeah. Offshore account, yeah. It's a long time ago, but he was a great, phenomenal horse, and he had a bit of luck on his side on the day, but it was a good introduction to the Punchestown Festival for me anyway.
Got your career off to a cracking start.
Oh, I did, yeah. He was. I think I had a couple of winners here that week, but it was great. He was a great horse, and he was trained by Charlie Swan. It was nice to ride winning for Charlie. He was a great jockey and a great trainer as well, so it was nice.
Good stuff. Right, let's move on to the action on Thursday. Then we'll start with the Grade 1 action. I mean, look at the stayers hurdle here, Nicola. How did you bet for this?
Yeah, this is a race the English have done very well, and I think they've won 2 of the last 3, and there's a couple coming over, including Dan Skelton's Au Petit Swan. He's got second favourite now in the market at 7-2, and obviously Dan's Yard's in flying form. He's just become the second trainer to have over 200 winners in a season. And this horse, he looked very good at Aintree, I thought, but he's stepping up to Grade 1 company today. Others, Colin Tizard sending over Vision to Flow, and you know what I mean, Harry's coming over. They're both in there at 10-1, but I think the home defence is very strong. Ruby will be on Bapaume, is that how I say it? Bapaume, yeah, 2-1 favourite, and then Paul Townend, he's on Bacardi's at 6-1.
What are your brand ambassadors saying? Paul Townend and Dan Skelton, is he keen?
You'll have to wait to find out until tomorrow.
Okay, published on the blog. Yeah, you won't even give us a scoop. What about you, Jenna? What do you like in this?
Well, fancying a horse with form figures of F0, 7, F6 is probably not advisable, but I'm quite ashamed of myself. I think the value is probably Bacardi's. Like, he finished 6th in the Stayers Hurdle at Cheltenham. That coming on the back of a fall in the beginner's chase at the last at Leopardstown. He was off for 3 months. I think this will be his best performance of the season. Whether it's good enough, I'm not sure, but he certainly has the ability to win a race of this nature. He beat Finian's Oscar in a Grade 1 novice hurdle at the track, and he's around about 7-1. I don't think 9-4 and 7-1 is a fair reflection of the difference between Bapaume and Bacardi's, and I don't think Bapaume stays 3 miles. He's never won beyond 2 mile 3. I don't think he fully sails the trip, so it's Bacardi's for me.
What about you, Dennis? If you had a ride in this, who would you like to be on?
Yeah, I would. If I knew Bacardi's was going to jump well, you know, I'd be very happy with him. So he gave the impression, as Dave said, in the Stayers Hurdle at Cheltenham, that he was kind of coming. He's coming into the spring. He's kind of seems to be coming to himself. He's a very, very good horse, and he would certainly be entitled to be a notch shorter in the betting if he had good form coming into the race.
Yeah, so they've messed about with his campaigning.
Unlucky.
They just tried to jump him events, but
make a
staying
chaser.
is probably his thing.
Yeah, he's a very good horse.
Yeah, no doubt. Right, let's move on to the other Grade 1 action of the evening at 6:40. It's the Ryanair Novices Chase.
Oh, what a race!
What a race! Deputy Soy comes back down in trip. Does he top the market, Nicola?
Duke de Geneva is the favourite. I suppose that incredible art to winning by 13 lengths gives him the edge as far as we're concerned. 7-4 favourite, but it is a great race. There's not much between him and Deputy Soul. Ornua as well, though, ran a very eye-catching race at Aintree, but I picked Duke de Geneva just off the back of that Arkle run.
Okay, 1 or 2 question marks over the Arkle. In some quarters, do you think it's a good Arkle?
Yeah,
are you with his form?
You're entitled to pick Duke de Geneva, but you're wrong.
Okay, fair.
No, I fancy. I'm only joking. I fancy Deputy Soy. I think, lads, I think this is probably the best novice chaser around this season over any trip. I think he would have won the Arkle. For all that, Duke de Geneva was very impressive. He's beaten Ornua, Articulum, all them type of horses. I know Ornua fell. Clondalk Castle. Like, I think the 2 mile novice chase division this year are very, very poor. Deputy Soy beat Lost in Translation. Lost in Translation was brilliant at Aintree. He won the Scilly Isles, jumped brilliant over the railway fences. I think he could be next year's Queen Mother Champion Chase winner. I think that's the route they're going to go down now with Altior stepping up in trip. I'll be bitterly disappointed if he doesn't win. You are nodding along there, Dennis. Sounds like you're a Deputy Soy fan.
Yeah, I am. He'll have surname to take on next year, I'd say, because they're waiting with him, I'd say, as well, rather than take him on a tandem. But I would say, again, I'd have to go with Deputy Soy. Look, he was a horse I lost complete faith in for a while.
He's still only 6 though, as well, coming in here.
I think because we lost so much faith in him, and now he's come to the fore, we're still not 100% believing him. But he's Duke de Geneva, I think, at Cheltenham. It was an awesome performance on very soft ground. I would have to say that Deputy Soul would have been on the premises, or maybe put it up to him on the day now. And I know Barry Geraghty was really looking forward to him riding Deputy Soul at Cheltenham. So it would be nice. I think he'll take a lot of beating in it.
You'd be with Daffy, I mean, I suppose the one time he was beaten as well, he had excuses. He probably just you know, got involved in a battle
Yeah.
with Colin Tizard's horse. that day in
The only thing I'd
Punchestown.
say is Duke to Geneva, he didn't have a lot of experience going to the Arkle. I think he did in the back of one run in a beginner chase at Goran, I think. You know, he didn't have great experience going into the Arkle, so he could benefit from that. That bring him forward a little bit more. So I wouldn't rule him out, but definitely the Sol just edges it for me anyway.
Good stuff. Right, let's move on to some of Dennis, we'll look through your mounts on the card. You got Elm Grove then in the opener tomorrow, that handicap hurdle from Madeline Talicki, who's had a brilliant start to her training career.
Yeah, and lovely people looking forward to riding her. She ran a blinder in Fairyhouse. She was fourth in a big novice handicap there at the meeting at Fairyhouse Festival, and she had won the time before that. She's good form. Look, it was a late spare ride for me to get now. I don't know a lot about her, but she looks to have an each way chance. There's usually about 10 or 12 to 1 there.
Good stuff.
Experience, yeah.
Who would you put up against Dennis in that race?
That was what time? Sorry.
In the opener.
In the opener, the one I like here is John S. for Conor Dwyer and Ricky Doyle. Travelled like a dream, I thought, in Fairyhouse in a similar type of race. Traded at 1.46 and running. I just thought a fast pace on a track like Punchestown, rated 80 on the flat. I thought he could creep into contention. The one that I can guarantee there will be money for. Curious Times for Stuart Crawford and JJ Slevin. Likely to open up probably a 7 or 8 to 1 shot tonight. Will be favoured. I can guarantee that.
You can guarantee. Okay, there's a David Jennings guarantee. Dennis, probably one of your best rides of the day is Snugsborough Hall, who was incredibly unlucky at Fairyhouse. How is he?
I sat in him during the week. I was thrilled with him actually. I was actually happier with him. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, but I was happier with him this time going into Punchestown than I was with 100% Fairyhouse. I wasn't 100% happy with him going into Fairyhouse, and he told me I was wrong anyway with the way things were going. But I'm very, very pleased with him coming into the meeting now, and he got a pound for his efforts in Fairyhouse. And look, I'm looking forward to riding him. He was in the 2.5 later in the week, but we weren't guaranteed a run, so we didn't have a choice. There was no choice. I thought Willie'd keep us out with the entries, and he's in the right race, I think. There's plenty of speed on, 12 runners, I think.
10-1's light enough for you, is it?
It's light enough, but look,
you can give me your dinner.
He's worth doing it for anyway.
He's worth it.
Yeah.
Jenna, you were a big fan.
Yeah, I have desperate news for Dennis here. This isn't just my best bet of the day. This is my best bet of the entire meeting. I've put him a couple of times in preview kind of things before the festival got underway. This horse is I think £7 well in, and I think he's even better than that. I think he's improving. Like, he's rated 127 at the minute. I could see this horse getting to 140 plus. The way he jumped and travelled at Fairyhouse, it was just one of these things that, like, from a jockey's point of view, I was devastated for you. So I can't imagine you that's done everything right. The horse has jumped well, you've crept into contention, you're coming to win your race, and then something completely out of your control, not even a mistake, takes you out of the race. Compensation is going to wait here because he's going to get the pace he wants.
I don't think you were helping there, by the way. Just,
Good job and relaxed.
I had done a piece with Dennis in the Racing Post, and you spoke about Snugsborough Hall, and I was like, I didn't back it, but I was willing you to win because you obviously had Snugsborough Benny the next day, and I was absolutely devastated for you. But I think it will even itself out tomorrow.
Yeah, and the ground is perfect for him, beneficially. Love the ground. Look, there isn't a lot I can say. I just need maybe to keep out of my mind's eye's way tomorrow. Look,
or just wish the race was now.
That's it. That's it. But look, he'd be good for the owners and the trainer now and myself if he could come up, do what we think he can do. You know,
we're all in. We're all on board the Snugsborough Hall. Liam Key's a brilliant trainer as well.
brilliant trainer. Yeah.
A Punchestown tradition and a Punchestown institution is the Latouche, and you got a spin here on King's Song. What's that?
I have a great ride in this.
Yeah?
Yeah, I have a great ride. This lad will outrun his odds. I don't know what price he is.
We haven't got the price up yet, but I'll make sure that we go short on that one.
Well, I tell you, that horse has been primed for this all year. He ran here in middle of the winter. He finished fourth here at 100 to 1 over the banks, so we got a feel of him that day. Look, he came out of Gordon Elliott's. He'd obviously lost his way a little bit, and Dave Broad works for Gordon Elliott, and he's a fantastic trainer. I'm very lucky for him, actually. A couple of winners from during the year, and he's owned by his father Albert, and they're a lovely family. And this horse, he won in Tremor the last day with first time blinkers as a prep. It was a prep race for this.
Oh, right,
and he bolted in. Couldn't believe it. So he's running with the visors tomorrow. We were nervous of the Bulger's horse, all right, but I just don't think it's a strong race, and I think
he'll be a price.
I think he'll run well.
You think he'll run?
I do, yeah.
I mean, how much of an advantage is it having had a spin around here and having a positive experience as well?
Well, look, with everyone else's horses, it's an advantage to have one spin over them, but then you're taking on in the Bulger, who it's a cult.
Second nature,
It's a cult to them down there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're always at a disadvantage taking him on, but I think the horse will run well. I think he'll run very well, yeah, at a
Okay,
price. Yeah,
good
yeah.
stuff, good
Yeah.
stuff. And you have one more as well in the handicap hurdle at 6:05, the insult
Yeah.
for Henry de Bromhead.
Yeah, look, I was following him the other day in Fairy House when he fell, and he actually nearly brought me down. But he was travelling well when he the other day, and they were fancying him. Rachel Blackmore rode him. Now she's obviously riding something else in the race tomorrow for Henry and Gigginstown House, but he will run well. I would say Henry's had a great year. I had a choice of a couple in it now, and I went with him. So I hopefully
you're right.
Hopefully, yeah.
What about you, Jenny? Do you like one in that handicap hurdle at 6:05?
I do. I think it's a tricky enough race, but the one I sided with was actually Get a Reason, who is not one of the leading Clyde Sutton contenders. Brian Hayes takes the ride, stepping up to 3 miles.
Yeah.
He ran far better than his finishing position suggests in the Martin Pipe. Was actually in front of the third last. Didn't jump particularly well. Step up to 3 miles, I think he'll suit. He'll be a big price now, and he'll run well.
Good stuff. Anything else on the card for you?
Oh, how many do you want?
Yeah,
God.
go on. Take out the notebook
So
there.
yeah, it's actually the final race on the card
bumper?
is a cracking bumper. Fury Road is held in high regard, so too is Cade Boy. But the big getaway, I think, could be a future star for William Patrick Mullins. I thought that also for Willie Elfield, it'd be very hard to beat in the 7:15 in the 6:05. The handicap. Sorry, that's the one we've spoken about.
Just mentioned
Get a
that, yeah.
Reason. There was one other one in the second race, I think.
Second race?
The 4:15.
Yeah, the handicap chase.
Snogsborough Hall, sure. Yeah,
Snogsborough
I think
Hall,
we've done the
of course.
card.
I think we covered that. Right, let's get our best bets of the day for Thursday at Punchestown. Jenna, we'll start with you.
Snogsborough Hall, the banker, the meeting in the 4:15. I also like Defi Desai in the 6:40 and the big getaway in the 7:45.
Good stuff. Nicola?
In the Ladbrokes Champion Stairs Hurdle, I'm going to go with Dan Skelton's Au Petit Soir, and then in the other grade one, I will go with Duke to Geneva and oppose all of you guys.
Okay, Dennis?
I will go with Bacardi's in the stairs. I'll go with Defi de Sol, and I'll go with Fury Road in the bumper.
Good stuff.
Snogsborough Hall, no?
Good stuff. He's not going to jinx himself. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll be back in tomorrow with more What's the Word.